a key to a really good peach cobbler for sure. Really ripe, delicious Utah peaches here. And I've added 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and about 2 cups of water to this bowl, and I'm just going to whisk it up. And create a nice sauce to pour over the peaches. Just make sure it's well incorporated, all of it. Enough of a sauce to cover the peaches about 3/4 of the way. It's okay if there's a little bit of the peaches showing out the top. And I'm going to add just a titch more water. We've got kind of a rich sauce here that just covers the peaches, and we'll leave enough room on the top to add the cobbler dough. I love the idea of cooking traditional family recipes for my family at certain times of the year because tradition and ritual is part of creating a tight family bond. And I'm wearing today Grandma Watts' apron that she used to always cook this peach cobbler when she was wearing, and I inherited it at her passing, and I always wear it during peach season whenever I'm creating one of her recipes. Next we will create the cobbler to go on top of the peaches and the sauce, and I just use the same bowl to make it easy and less dishes to wash. 2 cups of flour, 3/4 cup sugar, 1.5 teaspoons baking soda, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I use the same wire whisk. Mix that together to incorporate the dry ingredients. And then I like to use the cubed Crisco in the butter flavor. It makes it very easy to measure it out, and we want 3 tablespoons of that. So I'm just cutting it and dropping that into the bowl. And then use a fork or a knife to cut the shortening into the dry ingredients and create just a nice grainy mixture. So this is kind of the mixture, how it should look when we've got the shortening incorporated into it. And then I'm going to add some milk, and I add the milk rather slowly to be certain that we're not getting too much. But I like to use a rather thin cobbler batter because it lays out there more easily on top of the peaches, and it cooks more thoroughly and consistently through the cobbler. So I'm just now mixing it into. One of the things I missed the most when we lived in Abu Dhabi was peach season. We could not get good peaches, but I always remember coming home after school and the smell of peach cobbler throughout the house. And it's a tradition that I enjoy and that I cherish. Now I'm just going to drop this evenly, but I like the thicker part to be around the edges because they will cook more quickly, and then you don't wind up with doughy parts in the middle. The cobbler evenly, like I said, more thick around the edges. All right, now after I have the cobbler set on top of the peaches and the juice, I just like to sprinkle a nice amount of granulated sugar on top because it creates a nice crust and it looks so pretty when it comes out of the oven. So now we'll put it in the oven at 350 and bake it for about an hour. I like to check it after an hour, and I get it nice and brown, golden brown on top to make sure it's cooked thoroughly.